It hit me like a right hook from Mike Tyson. One minute I was kicking back in Melbourne, enjoying a plate of fairy bread. The next, I was being whisked away to the airport. Kenya, they said. A family emergency. No time to pack, no time to think, just go. The whirlwind of confusion was overwhelming. My head spun with questions. What was happening? Why Kenya? Why me? No answers came, just the insistent urging of my travel companions. We had to leave now. As I boarded the plane, a wave of nausea washed over me. This wasn't a holiday, this was something else, something big, something scary, and I was trapped in it like a fly in amber. The flight was a blur. My companions, a group of distant relatives, kept to themselves, whispering in hushed tones, avoiding my eyes. Their silence spoke volumes. It screamed danger, it hinted at secrets, and it did nothing to calm my nerves. I tried to engage them in conversation, to decipher the cryptic clues about our destination and the reason for this sudden journey, but they deflected my questions with vague answers and nervous glances. The hours dragged on, my fear festered. The plane became my prison, the strangers, my wardens, and Kenya, the unknown land, loomed ahead like a storm cloud on the horizon. Touchdown in Nairobi was a sensory overload. The air hung thick and heavy, a mix of exhaust fumes and unfamiliar spices. The cacophony of the city hit me like a sonic boom. Street vendors hawked their wares, cars honked impatiently. The chaos was exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. My companions, now seemingly more at ease, ushered me into a rickety matatu. We were crammed in like sardines, a sea of limbs and luggage. The driver, a man with eyes that could rival a hawk, navigated the chaotic streets with reckless abandon. The journey was a blur of vibrant colours, blaring horns and near misses. I clung to my seat, my heart pounding in my chest. This wasn't the Kenya I'd seen on TV. This was raw, untamed, and utterly unpredictable, and I was utterly out of my depth. Section 4, Airport Antics. The airport was a madhouse. People surged through the terminal, a tide of humanity rushing towards unknown destinations. The air crackled with tension. The smell of sweat and fear hung heavy in the air. This was not a place for the faint of heart. My companions, their faces etched with a mixture of anxiety and impatience, pushed me towards the check-in counter. The attendant, a stern woman with a look that could curdle milk, glared at me with suspicion. She scrutinized my documents, her lips pursed in a disapproving frown. She fired off questions in rapid Swahili. My companions mumbled hurried translations, but their words did little to ease the knot of dread twisting in my gut. Section 5. Interrogation room. Passport, please. The words, spoken in clipped English, sent a shiver down my spine. I was ushered into a small, sterile room. No windows, just a bare table, 2 chairs, and a man in a uniform who seemed to radiate an aura of quiet menace. He flipped through my passport, his eyes scanning the pages with an intensity that made my skin crawl. He asked questions about my family, about my purpose in Kenya, about my life in Australia. His voice was devoid of emotion. I stumbled over my answers, my mind racing. Every word felt like a landmine. One wrong answer, I feared, could have dire consequences. The interrogation dragged on. Minutes felt like hours. Hope dwindled with each passing moment.